You can have all that you wanted, darling. Know the world is yours. I've been up chasing the sunset, just to see
contest. Sparkle Soojian grew up here in Fresno and has been training in local gyms for the competition. She spent the last 15 years as a personal trainer and is constantly looking for new workouts to add to her routine. She says she hopes the community comes together, not only to support her, but also to give back to those who really need it.
Whether or not I win or lose, I at least got in shape to do this, so that was really cool. And also, every vote that goes for me is $1 to Wounded Warriors. So I'm helping donate to a great cause.
The winner of the contest gets to be on the cover of Ms. Health and Fitness magazine, along with $20,000. If Soojian wins, she says she plans to give a huge chunk of those winnings back to the community.
Welcome to the Sparkle Show. With us, we have Alice. Alice Bradley, what have you been up to?
Hello, and thank you so much for having me on your show. It's been, what, 3 months? What have I been up to during COVID-19? So much. This time during this pandemic has allowed me to really go deep inside of myself and figure out the two things that I want, my purpose. So again, my purpose has always been the same, which is to inspire and to motivate people to stay on track of their fitness and their health goals. That is why I just released and published my first ebook, which is on Amazon Kindle. And my second project is still growing my AB activewear, which I started with, you know, my sports bra. Today I'm my pink color. And I have shorts on the way. So I'm super excited about that. I cannot wait. I'm getting 4 different colors. I'm getting black, olive green. I'm getting a really pretty blue and lilac. So I have 3 colors to match my current.
And you're wearing one now, right?
No, I don't have my shorts yet. They're on their way.
No, your bra, you're wearing
my
sports
supply.
bra.
Oh, my bra. Yes, I am. Oh my gosh, it's got my old logo. My new shorts will have my new logo back. Yes, it's still at, you know, AB Activewear. The logo design has changed a little bit. I wanted something a little bit more modern, a little bit more eye-catching for my audience.
I love it. I will say again, I sweat when I work out, and that just makes me like, it captures everything. I never have that ring around when I wear those bras. So I can sweat as much as I want and nobody will know.
That's good. No, really, right? There's no like wet spots nowhere. Perfect. I'm so happy to hear that.
How did you create this? When now that I'm wearing it, I see how good it is. I was like, are you a scientist? How did you create it so good?
Well, it's because I know nylon and spandex. I mean, you know those two fabrics, even though they're not like cashmere or like the most high quality, expensive kind of fabric, but nylon and spandex, when you put them together, it's the type of fabric that tightens your body and holds it together. That's why when we work out, you know, we're keeping our bust right there in form. They're not bouncing up and down. And that's the fabric that actually, you know, kind of absorbs sweat. Instead of, if this was cotton, you would definitely be seeing sweat marks everywhere. And no, I've always wanted my own line. And I always, you know, like sometimes when I do my little laps and my jogs at the park, I'll be holding onto my phone, or I put it, you know, like inside my my leggings, and it starts to move down or it moves around.
I know, the bra in the back.
Pocket in the back. Yes.
I loved it when I went hiking. It was so convenient back there.
Oh, that's so great. I'm so glad. And I truly want my line, honestly, Sparkle, to be a legacy. Like, I want to be as huge as Nike or Lululemon. When I am on out of this world. Like my great grandkids can still pass on this active line.
Well, the quality's
and blow it
there.
up more.
I love it because the quality's there, and everyone's like, "Oh, I want to start this line, that line." And I always roll my eyes. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you just want to have your own line."
Yeah.
The quality of your line is really good, and it's so cheap, $33. One day you're gonna up that.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Well, I have to think about that too. Competition is so high. I don't want to mark it up too much or get any sales. So I'm more about quantity right now over somebody just buying a piece for $60,
Right.
So we got to start small, and I love my small wins. So that's really what I've been doing, really growing that, just spending more time with quality, more efficient, working out at home instead of working out at the gym. And I'm loving my exercises. I'm incorporating more resistance bands into my workouts, which I know you've seen.
I subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell everyone to look at your YouTube.
You did?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yay. I'm glad you did. I hope you're picking up at least different exercises that you don't ordinarily
I love it.
do.
And it's as a trainer, you get stuck on some things. I always like to see new ideas and new things where you're like, oh yeah, I used to do that. I like that. I want to do that too. So I love it. It's inspiring. Like I said, it's great because everything you're doing now in home is stuff we can all be doing.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I do my best. I post something up every Monday through Saturday. Without a doubt, you're going to see me. However, yesterday was my only day when I did not have time, but I still did it today. I'm trying to engage with my audience and have them see me every day, because if it's a daily, let's put it this way, Sparkle, if I just post something on my YouTube twice a week, people are going to think, okay, she's a fitness trainer, but how serious is she about her own health? Like, I want people to know I personally am putting in the time and the effort to train myself. And that sometimes will evoke others to want to do the same thing, because I follow a lot of people on YouTube, and I'll see their posts like once a month, once every other month. And I'm like, and I'll think about them. I'll be like, I haven't seen her. I haven't seen him. Where are they? Right?
Yeah, no, and it's inspiring me. I mean, I don't look as cute as you when I work out. Like I said, I sweat.
Oh, get out of here. No, I need to see you work out more. You need to be posting your stuff on your
every
page.
day. I know.
Yes.
I need to get less self-conscious and wear your bra all the time. I've been doing better, but I'll do better.
Good.
Your book. This is so cool.
Oh my gosh, I love my book.
I love your book.
What page are you on?
I read it. You said quick read. What do you mean? What page am I on? That was a quick read.
You finish
Anybody
it?
could read that.
Gosh.
That was a good read, and it's free.
Yes. So please tell me what you learned from it. I mean, I want to get some feedback from you.
Oh gosh, to be perfectly honest, it's about the meal plans and the measuring, the portion control, everything about it. Because like I said, I love exercising when it comes to like meals, because I watch the meals that you prepare and they're very good, and you eat a lot. You do.
Yes.
You eat often. You eat every few hours. So it's like, I love that you can eat those and do that. You're very creative with your food. So I love that.
Good. No, I'm glad. That was the meal plan was what I added. And I just think it's so important, it's helpful, I think, to have my nutritional tips, right? But a lot of people don't know what to buy when they go to the grocery store. So that's why I had my 5 meal plans, and people don't have to abide to it and be so strict, but that way they have a variety. Okay, I can do turkey breast Monday, I can do ground chicken, I can do fish, and then I can incorporate this kind of, good carbs, complex carbs, and go with that. So I'm glad. Diet nutrition now is huge. There's so many companies that meal prep, especially for vegetarians, right? And people who are vegan. I'm not vegan because I love meat. But, I did want to emphasize more on the nutrition, not so much like, okay, everybody works out. Okay, what else is there?
Right. No, I like it. I really found it fascinating that you weigh your food daily because when I used to prep cook, I would do that, but I never thought of doing it every single meal all the time. And I know people that compete, they do that, but you're a normal, regular person
I'm
that
not
does
even
it all the
competing.
time,
Right?
And but the baby food thing, I still can't believe you weigh your food.
I used to weigh my daughter's food when she was a baby. See, the thing is, like, to me, everything has to become a habit in your life.
You're
so
right.
even though it's funny, like you said, even though I'm not stepping on stage, I'm not competing for anything, but if I continue on this path of a good routine, it just becomes it's part of my life. And why not? So it's just adding more good habits into my life. That's all it is.
No, and it's great. It's such great knowledge. It's such great information because you look amazing.
Really? You think so?
Did you ever have a fat phase?
Thank you. I've never been fat, ever. I mean, I hate using that word, but
even when you were
I've
pregnant, you didn't have that phase,
overweight. Oh my gosh, when I was pregnant, that was the only time when I got over 110 pounds. Because, listen, I've always wanted to donate blood because I think it's great to be, and I'm a type O, so my blood is the most, I think, usable or the most wanted, right? Blood type O. And the unfortunate part is, even COVID-19, I really, really wanted to donate. But you have to be at least 110 pounds to donate blood. So when I was pregnant, I did donate blood a lot because when I was pregnant, that was the only time I got up to 135 or something. I didn't gain a lot. I didn't.
And you lost it really quickly, huh?
No, you know what? It took me some time, to be honest. I wasn't like one of these people you thought, I'm sure you got back in shape after 3 months. I didn't breastfeed my daughter. So when you don't breastfeed, you lose a little bit slower.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So I was able to get in my normal pair of jeans the 7th month after I gave birth to her. And a lot of girls were wearing their jeans 3 months later when they were breastfeeding.
Did you work out during your entire pregnancy?
I definitely did. I was hardcore going to Gold's Gym in Venice every single day. And I was there the second day after I was overdue. So I was huge. My belly was at the here. I was literally a bullet. You couldn't really tell I was pregnant from the back, but from the side, I'm all baby, right? And so we're all belly. So I'm here, trying to run her out or walk her out on the treadmill. But no, I always highly recommend any woman who is pregnant to keep working out. Do not be doing heavy squats or heavy dumbbells, anything heavy, but light cardio, arm workouts, shoulder workouts. I don't suggest a lot of back workouts because that could, strain you. So, but no, I think it's really healthy and it gives you a healthier pregnancy as well. If
that's
you're
what I
working out
want
during
to
your
point
pregnancy.
out about your workouts. A lot of them are still that way with light weights. You want the nice, long, lean muscles. Oh, stretching. That was another big part I took from your book.
Yes.
I'm not a good stretcher either.
Oh, good.
And you have the body a lot of women want to have, but a lot of women in fitness, are bulking up. They're using, you know what I'm saying? They're using heavy weights and everything. And so you're really important for what a typical woman, the body that they want. And so all your workouts are for those long, lean muscles.
Yes. No, you're so right, Sparkle, because I am one of those women that don't want, if I'm flexing, I don't want to be huge, or I don't want my traps to be too widened or any of that, because we're females and we still want that beautiful female physique, yet we just want to be defined and toned.
Right.
So my workouts with light weights and resistance bands, it's more body weight than anything. So it's higher reps and lower in weight. That's how I'm keeping my definition, not bulking up, per se.
And you've always been like that, or was there a time that you were using the heavy weights?
Oh gosh, never. I just couldn't do it. I mean, I don't even like training heavy. That's not part of me. Because I know some girls do. I just, and I don't want to be injured. I mean, at my age, recuperation is just slower the older you get. So at this point of my life, I'm preventing injuries by just going light and just training according to my body and how I feel and how I look. That's all it is. You know, so females out there, don't push yourselves too hard.
One thing I wanted to ask you is about men. How do you train men, and what are some of your advice?
How do I train men? Yes, that actually, to be honest, I've only trained one man, like throughout all I am a female trainer, and I tell everybody my focus is only females. The one man I did train, it didn't last long. I'm just being honest. And the reason why I prefer to train women is because I don't have the strength to lift heavy dumbbells if they're trying to do chest presses or if they're trying to squat hundreds. So I prefer not to. I hope that answered your question.
But a lot of your advice can go either way. Like in your book, a lot of the nutritional advice can go for men, and a lot of your core, because core is something a lot of men, you know, those heavy bodybuilders.
Yeah, sure.
They're not doing enough
beer
core.
Drinkers and the bar hoppers. No, they're not. Yes, so no, you're right. You're right. I thought you were asking how I personally train them in person. But no, you're absolutely right. My stretching that I have in my book, my core exercises, and even my full body. Like men can actually improvise and go heavier when they're doing the full body. So absolutely, my book is for both men and women. You're right.
So why did you decide to make a book for free that we could all enjoy? Tell me that.
Well, it's my first book, Sparkle, and it's COVID-19. I'm not here to make money off of everyone who's been impacted, you know, financially. Well, but to be honest, it's like I want to share my knowledge, and I'm not here to not to expect anything in return, because it's what I love. And it's what I've always preached, even as a platform representing Miss California, that if that's always been my platform, it should forever be free. It's not something I even expect people to say, my gosh, you know, how much do I owe? Now, it's different if I do have a client that wants meal prep done or wants ongoing nutrition, right? But a book, and this is so condensed that it, you know, you saw it, half of it is really a visual. It's more of a picture book. I tell everybody, half of it is photos. You can read it in 15 minutes. I'm sure it took you no time, right?
But and that's good, because people need that. I mean, not to say, but, you know, a lot of people are visual learners.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of people now, I mean, we're so ADD, we're multitasking, we have so much going. I'm not going to write a 100-pager. Like for my first book. So I wanted to make it really short, really easy, where I'm hitting all my key points of all the important parts of the overall health and fitness and wellness. And you saw the ending, right? I even had my affirmations and my list of positive guidance, because that is crucial. Having a positive mindset impacts your body and everything.
Do you think that's why a lot of people get overweight, because of thinking negatively or self-doubt?
A lot of people are overweight because they binge eat. When they are sad, when they're depressed, when they don't know how to control their emotions, that's when they're hitting a tub of ice cream or eating a box of chocolate chips. So if you're able to train your mind to always ease it when you're stressed, like when my friends are stressed, this is what I tell them. And we all multitask, right? Not everybody just has one duty to do all day.
Right.
So if you have 8 things that you're currently trying to accomplish right now, and they're also stressful, this is where I've always told my friends, walk away from that one stress for 1 minute, take a breath inside, and before you get back to that agenda that you were doing, you have to think to yourself how you're going to tackle it. So instead of sitting there and being miserable and being stressed with that same issue, it's just going to keep spiraling down. Like that issue is going to get worse or you stress. So you just have to walk away for a minute, breathe, and then before you come back to that problem, think about how you're going to attack it. So that's how I do it. Like, to me, training my mind is actually much harder than training your body.
I agree.
Right.
I definitely agree.
Exactly. So the people who do have problems is because they're sad and they're depressed and they don't know. And there are overweight people, I'm telling you, 80% is because they binge eat, or they're bored, they're watching TV at night, right? And they're eating microwavable popcorn and or drinking that beer or a bottle of wine, you know, with their boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, or whoever, or gosh, even drinking alone during COVID-19.
Well, that's what I like about your book a lot, and I love your exercises particularly because, you know, the biggest excuse now is that gyms aren't open, how we're going to stay in shape, and everything you do has been an out of gym experience, and there's really no excuse not to do them. Not only them, because people have used the mad excuse with me, you can do a lot of these exercises on your bed.
For sure, for sure. Actually, that should have been that should have been the cover of my book. No excuses. I love that because now you're preaching to me. No, it's absolutely true, Sparkle. Maybe I should have put "No Gym, No Excuses" as my title.
Well, it's great. I mean, and that you could do it on your bed because, you know, I hear about the nomad. I hear that I don't have space. I'm sure you've heard it all too. And so it's like everything that you do, you could really do on your bed. And if you just have a very small spot on your bed, you could be sweating and dying and torturous exercise. You really can.
Anywhere. My place is not big, but I find this tiny little spot where I film in the same location every single day. Right. I mean, once in a while, in a blue moon, I'll take it to the park, but I run at the park, so I can't really like film while I'm like, you know, huffing and puffing. Yeah.
So where can we all get your book? We gotta tell everyone where to get them online.
Oh gosh, it's tinyurl.alice ebook. I mean,
we'll have it up there. We'll have it on the screen.
Yeah, you're gonna have it up there. I'm like, I'm pretty
your
sure
book. We're gonna have your book and your bra and shorts. So your bras are $33. How much are the shorts gonna be?
You know what? They're actually 36. The shorts will be the same, 36.
I don't know.
I just give you a friend's discount. That's why I know I give you a very friendly discount.
No, but that's perfect. No, that's really cheap. I mean, that's
still a good price.
No, that's ridiculously cheap. So $36, so the shorts are going to be about the same. That's cool. You can get a nice, cute little new outfit.
Exactly the same. Yes.
Are your shorts going to be the same material? Because like I said, the bras have worked out for me with how much I sweat. What are the shorts going to be?
Yep. Shorts, you're going to be so happy. They're going to be the same fabric, nylon and spandex. And the most awesome part that I personally love is it's got the scrunch bum design in the back, so it actually accentuates the behind, which I personally need. So I intentionally made my line that way because I like to accentuate the butt. And I'm sure all ladies out there like it.
Nice. Are they really short? Are they short shorts or they're a little bit on the longer side?
They're not biker shorts. They're pretty short. I mean, it covers everything.
But they stay in place because they're nylon in.
Oh my gosh. And it's not even that, Sparkle. Aren't we all home now? So it doesn't matter how short they are. They could be see-through. But I didn't want to make it see-through, of course.
No, I have to be doing all these exercises on my stories on Instagram every day now to be like to catch up with you. So
you do.
So they need to be appropriate for me to so I can wear them every day.
Yes, I mean they are a little bit high rise, just like you know how that's the trend now. But they're definitely short. Yes.
What are the sizes going to be?
Your ordinary. I'm just starting off with small, medium, and large for now. That's it. Yeah, I'm not doing the extra small and the extra larges because I found that it was hard to sell. Even
eventually, guys, you got to buy enough of these, and then we'll make the really big. I get a lot of big, busty friends that are always like,
"Do you?" Well, I did find that because they're so tight on top. I had one girlfriend who gave it to her daughter because she really just kind of filled out too much. So yeah, I mean,
if there's a high demand, we could special order too, probably, if somebody really wanted to and said, no, I like, my friend has this, I want it, let's special. So
definitely you can special order for sure.
This is so exciting. I love seeing your stuff everywhere.
Oh my gosh, really? So when my short coming in that sells well, I don't want to say if one that sells well, the third item will be resistance bands. Because you know how much I love those. Yeah.
I actually need some new ones, so that works out for me.
Yeah.
So this book's doing good. Can you tell how many people have read it or how it's selling?
You know what? I haven't even tried looking. Maybe I should.
Because you're going to come out with another one.
Something I definitely am. I have time now to write books. I have to write another book for sure. I just have to figure out how to connect my second book with this one.
And
I'm
you want
sure
feedback.
It's going to somewhat correlate. I do want feedback.
On
if you
Instagram,
can give me
guys.
a review. Yes, please. Or even on the book. And just so you know, even though it's hard for me to tell your audience and my audience like the actual link, but if anybody has Amazon Kindle, which 95% of us do, all you have to do is just look up Get Fit, Get Active, Get Healthy. The title of my book, and I'll pop right up.
That's a great title. You don't need my gym no excuses. I like that.
Come on now. Come on. Get fit, get active, get healthy. It's the best.
And besides following her on IG and YouTube for the advice on fitness, just your inspiration, your quotes, you're always so positive. So we all need to follow you for that.
I love being positive. I love being happy. You know, we all, I mean, I'm human. I'm sensitive. I have my ups and downs, my sad days, but I try to live life appreciating all the good. You know what I mean? Instead of fixating on what I don't have or what I want, it's like, what do I have? You know, you have to turn it around.
So
the cup
inspiring.
Is half full. Oh, Sparkle, but I'm sure you do the same. I really am. I can
people
see
like you that
it. You
inspire
glow
me.
all the
That's
time.
not my go-to all the time. You
I mean,
keep
you're
me
glowing.
focused.
If your face is glowing and you look happy and you exude that, I can feel it. That means you are a happy person. You can't fake happiness.
That is
You just
true.
can't. You know what I mean? Like, we can see it.
Thank you so much, Alice. We're going to follow you. I encourage everyone, get a free book and buy a $36 bra. Come on, guys.
Thank you, Sparkle. I
Thank
love
you,
being
Alice.
on your show.
I love you, girl.
I'll see you soon. Love you too. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be healthy.
Welcome to the Sparkle Show. With us, we have Deborah. How are you, Deborah?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am good. And you are a busy woman. I mean, now I think things calmed down because of COVID, but you were a very busy woman. Tell us about what you do.
Okay, well, honestly, I'm still kind of busy, but, you know, I have a company. I'm a publicist and a media consultant. So in my company, we have 3 different branches. We do PR for movies and for actors, writers, and filmmakers, and help them with their, you know, film launches. Or
What's the name of the company?
LA Media Consultants.
LA Media Consultant. Okay.
Right. And then we also have distribution strategy division with me and a partner named Alyssa Goodman. And, you know, with that, we, you know, filmmakers come to us either with a feature film or a documentary, and they're looking for, you know, help getting distribution. And we work in different phases. And, you know, I'm on a movie right now, and I'm helping them get a celebrity presence on their documentary, either as, you know, the narrator or as an interview.
Oh, wow.
And that really is, again, it's going to help them get sales.
That's a lot of work for you. What is it? Isn't the director and the casting director supposed to do all that? Why? That sounds like a big job.
Well, because I think that a lot of people have, you know, great things, and they just don't either have the time or the connections to do it.
So do you get credit for that in the movie? Like if you get them their star narrator, is your name listed as?
Publicist.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's part of the service that you do to help, their movie move forward. Or some people, they already have that together or it doesn't fit in. So, we would do a plan for them to show like, how their movie should be taken out and the different possibilities of distribution and actually help them or take them through the film festival circuit.
So do you take on anybody that's willing to pay? What if I brought you something and you're like, this isn't what we do, Sparkle. This isn't kind of what we do. There's no names here, there's no this, there's no that. We just don't do this. Do you tell people that?
Sure. Yeah, because I don't want to waste their time or their finances.
That's good. So you just
like
tell them straight up.
Right. I mean, we also, like in media consulting, a lot of people would pay for that service because a lot of times, like, we have a short film package and, that's me helping somebody that, obviously they have to have some promise and potential, and they should also have some screenplays that they're writing.
Right.
Because it's very, like, just 'cause you might have a great short film that you wrote and directed, but if you don't have anything to follow it up with, you're not going to garner a lot of interest. But there have been times when I've placed people, whether they've just had screenplays or they've had short movies, and I build up a representation team and and introduce them to strategic alliances.
So what if you have a really good client, like an actor that you're kind of representing, that you're helping, and they have this great film that you see all this potential, and you don't feel that it's being shopped around right at all? Do you kind of step in and be like, now that I'm your consultant, I want to step in on this project and get this everywhere?
Absolutely. But I don't. If there's a team in place, you don't want to, upset you want to work with people.
Well, that's why I would think that'd be hard.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't, but from years, I started out as an executive and had studio situations and development jobs for production companies, and you meet all kinds of people, whether you're working for them, whether you're pitching to them, or whether they come in to work with, and they try and sell you projects. So I think that, 90% of the job is just managing people. And really, using your wisdom to be able to move things along, because you don't want to be so hard that you're just like, everybody get away, I know what I'm doing, because you don't want to devalue like their work, and
right.
You want to make everybody. But I think that if I'm getting involved, then obviously, if I don't really like what they've been doing, then it can be cured by my network being more vast than theirs. So normally, they wouldn't. They probably, really appreciate it at some point.
So you worked for a big company, and then now you're on your own. Tell us about that process, because being a female in Hollywood, how do you go from working for the big studios and now you're like, no, I'm going to do my own thing and we're going to open up my own consulting firm? Tell us that story. I know it's going to be interesting.
Well, it's a long time. When I was in my 40s, like later 40s, I'm not going to mention what my age is now, but, you kind of get to the point where you're not going to really get hired in an executive situation unless, it's been an ongoing thing. And so for me, I happened to be working as an executive at a company that was international. It wasn't like, my trajectory from my days at Fox as a youngster to, working for different companies in the 1990s towards 2000, I ended up working for a Japanese media company.
Wow.
And it was very, it was a different kind of experience because it combined everything I had done. Like, I was going to film festivals, I was going to film markets, I was buying and acquiring projects, I was producing a celebrity talk show for Japan and Korea. So,
wow.
naturally...
How do you do that when you don't even know the language? How do they, was it in English, or how do you
learn, how to communicate with people. I know a little bit of Japanese, like mush mush, like sayonara, and I had a team of people that I work with, and I was like a lead, like the top executive at this company. So, when they burned through all their cash, I was able to start my business. But, it had been a long time, and it had been, it was also like after a while, you're not going to, like even as much as I've seen, companies and they're looking for a vice president of development and you get tempted because you want to go back. And it's like, there's no jobs like that. It's so much fun. But it's, also I kind of like realized when I was like in my late 20s or early 30s or mid 30s or even 40s, you can, you're more likely to stay home at night and read 1,000 scripts. And, it's just too hard when you get older. You have other priorities. And, I'm used to running my own business. So if I'm reading something, it's not for somebody else. And, you don't have a lot of pressure, to like call agents. Now everything would be slower anyway. And, for certain clients, I am pursuing, producing deals and things like that. So I'm kind of back to doing that. But, it's under my own jurisdiction. And it's not like I have to like give answers on things for somebody else in the morning.
It's funny that you say about having more energy in your 20s. I've seen you in action, and I never see you sit down. I see you work very tirelessly for the projects that you're put on. And that's true. How does that work out? You just, when all these film festivals, you just go, you charge through, you're just go, 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 go.
Well, I mean, it's been a little different with the COVID because
before COVID
things aren't as intense. But I did, help with one release, and I led a campaign on another, a streaming release, and I still have a large clientele that, I'm, like getting them, different, things to help move their, careers along or their projects or things like that. And I'm also going to moderate a panel at Holly Short's, this fall. I think that you just have to have a purpose in it. I mean, if, like people are hiring you and they pay me on a monthly retainer, so I can't just push off the work. I have to do it. So, I mean, and, fortunately, I mean, every day now it's not as much pressure because it seems with the COVID that it's like endless summer, but I still like have my lists and I do the things I need to do every day to like really move things further along. And then, you get, it is what it is. When I was younger, it was just different because, I had to meet a lot of people all the time. I had to be very current with, what agents were taking out, who their clients were. And now it's just more of a selective thing because I'm not reporting to somebody else. I'm just using it for things that I'm involved with.
That's funny you mentioned that. How is it being current? Because when you started, everything was so much different than now. We used to do the tape auditions, everything. Now, a lot of things are live. We're doing auditions like this, where you have to become really savvy on social media. Is there a lot to learn? And how do you learn it? How do you chase it and always stay current? Because you have it. And how do you do it?
A lot of times I learn on those doing it on the job, or like last week I took a seminar to talk about launching a great PR strategy like in our current times. And a lot of things I knew already because you just do by instinct, if you know the job really well. And a lot of things you just implement. I think that I was talking to a publicist of a film festival and he asked me like what's the difference like when you're online? And I just said, like in the release that I did, we used influencers more because really it's not like at a festival, it can be false kind of PR. Like you might be on a red carpet, unless you have stars in your films or your movie has a specific subject matter that's timely, it's really tough to get, a lot of press on it, but you can get some articles. And just going on a red carpet and they might have Getty images there. That's not, it's not really, it's good for your website and maybe your Facebook and to promote yourself. But I think that, in this kind of age where, especially festivals are going to be online and things, ticket sales and getting, people to actually log in and pay and watch it is, that's what the trick is. And, for the time being, and I think probably, for the next few months at least, too. Probably till sometime in the middle of next year.
And so you said, with movies, you could be kind of choosy if it's a project you don't want to promote, you don't. What about with actors and actresses? 'Cause I'm sure you've come across where some people are names and you're like, well, they're not that talented. And then you have people that super talented and they're not yet discovered. How do you determine who you want to help and not how? Tell us about that process.
Well, I think that if somebody is, depending on their name and their, value, it's just going to be easier to get them, PR. There's no doubt about it. But if somebody's young, like I do have a young client now, and she's very, she's explosively talented. And really, like, at the end of last year, I had a plethora of agents and managers that were interested in taking her on.
Nice.
So, but when you see somebody that's unique like that and really special and different, it's easy to, you do that out of your heart. You kind of make decisions twofold. One is like, how hard is it, like somebody that has a name, it's easier to get, PR for them. So it's kind of a no-brainer, because you don't want everything in your life to be a challenge, even though I'm the type of person that basically loves challenges. The other thing is, if you're doing something with your heart because you really believe in a person, well, that's another, that's something that's not going to be hard for you. You're going to feel like, I really am happy to do this.
And you seem all over the map, with just all the people that you've been involved with, because you had that ag show with that man that passed away. That was very sad. Then you have a psychic that you're representing. How do you find all these people and they come to you? Because this isn't just all Hollywood stuff you do. You do shows, like I said, about agriculture. You do shows about the psychic. You do shows for regular people and celebrities. How are you all over the map like that?
Word of mouth. Rarely do I ever advertise. Like the psychic, I knew because when I had a pet that passed away in 2007, and I happened to hire her to do a media type of reading, and she just reached out to me. We kept in touch over the years, and when she had this book coming out, and I was happy to do it. Ray Ocanto, who, the gentleman that passed away, I was referred to by, Jennifer Tadlock. And it's really the same job. You just have to get with the players. And I felt like I did really well for him up in Fresno. He got some great, magazine articles. He was a really sweet guy. It's upsetting that, that he passed away. With other people, like, my clients tend to be really happy, so they refer other clients to me, or they come back, so.
I know, you're like the mother bear, you're always doing everything. But what I found fascinating, too, being at that one film festival with you were making sure everybody had everything they needed. Like the actors had their drink tickets, people had their VIP passes, it just seemed very above and beyond. I'm like, what does this woman do? She does everything. So it was hard to narrow down the job description because you do it all.
Right. Well, I think a good publicist should do that and make it easy for the people to get on the carpet and get to their screening. That's like, normally that's what you do. So, but there's, a lot of things that, it's one of those jobs that it's an intangible, element to anything. So, some people, they don't understand like what a PR person does, but they do so much to help people, like even with getting them into festivals and like talking them up and introducing them to, people they could work with at the festival. Like even if like in the old days, that's what we have to say now, but a lot of times I would show up at a party, after like a networking event at a festival, and I would take a client and introduce them to several people that they might want to be in business with. It's just invaluable to navigate the industry. If you have, people that have experience, that have a large, reservoir of like contacts and a great Rolodex, and it's really important to really understand what might help your client. Like me taking a new writer and introducing them to a studio head, it's not really going to help them that much, because that person might say, well, keep in touch or something, or good luck. But introducing to somebody that might be like a junior executive at a production company or a newer agent looking to build their clients, that's really going to help. Or, somebody that's starting out their own management company and is looking, for talented people.
And that's how you have a good reputation. You don't waste people's time. You're like, I see you with this person. I see you with this person. You're not quite yet ready for that one.
Right. I don't want to waste the contact's time, nor do I want to waste the client's time.
Well, and it's also your reputation. Now, when you bring people to someone, they're like, oh, Deborah knows what she's doing because she was right about this, but she's always pretty right about what it's reputation, right?
Right, absolutely.
And how did you build it? Cool. You're from the East Coast, right?
Exactly, but I've been out here since 1984. So you might not have even been born then.
Now you're getting to my so
but you might have, I don't know. But
when you started in movies, how did you know this was the direction you wanted to go? Were you in other jobs before you're like, this is where I see myself? Were you acting? Were you a model? Were you doing all this stuff? And then like, no, I want to be behind the scenes. I want to be the person that makes things happen.
Right. Well, I moved to New York, and I worked in the office of Lionel Hampton, who was a famous jazz musician, and he was like a dad to me. And I was a little bit, more of a kind of a fun party girl, and I just, I wanted
socialite?
To a little bit, and I did the first, I was trying to be an actress. I did the first, this was like in the early 1980s, maybe late 1970s. So they started this thing called tight jean commercials, and I did the first one.
I wish we had a clip of that right now. I would give anything to see that.
I would too. I don't know where that person was that shot it. Like this was like maybe 1978 or 1979. And then, eventually I wanted to live in California because in those days they didn't really have much of a film business in New York. And I really didn't see myself as an actress after all. I mean, I'm not good at dealing with not getting hired at parts. And I felt like I was better behind the scenes. I mean,
I've heard that story a lot when people end up behind. You have more power too.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was funny because when I moved out here, I went to some screening and there were some girls that I saw that acted in films that I saw, and they were sort of like people were being paid attention to most like the people that had studio jobs. And I thought, well, that's what I want to do then, because I'd rather be, a person wielding power than, begging for work. So
I totally.
I mean, it's really, and it's also some people, like, there's some actors that, they just click with the business, and they don't, I mean, they sort of like walk into it, and that's really great. I mean, it's a phenomenal thing. But for other, but I never found that an easy thing for me. So, like my path was really to, just, to go behind the scenes and develop projects and have more of a normal life rather than, waiting and,
Deborah, do you ever meet people like you, somebody trying to act, and then you're like, you know what? You're really good at this. Why don't you do what I am doing? Why don't you become an agent? Do you ever try to direct people?
Yeah, I do. And then a lot of them say, well, I don't want to. So.
Yeah. Because I think you have an eye for talent of different things.
Right. But I think that, if that's their dream and that's what they really want, then I really feel like that's what they should do. So, I mean, and a lot of times I've been wrong and a lot of times I've been right, but still, I mean, it's, like somebody really needs to, I mean, if that's what their dream is and that's the only way they want to live, then that's what they should do.
Do people ever ask you to act now? Because I feel like you'd fit a lot of character descriptions. And if someone had people are like, Deborah, we need you in this, and you're like, I don't act anymore. Does that happen ever?
Once in a while, like Valerie was going to put me in the Pop movie. It's like a stoner that lived next door to the lady. She's come in for some kind of crazy scene. And, sometimes they do. They go, oh, you'd be so much fun. Or like you should have a stand-up comedy show. Or, I mean... And I think that, maybe that was the one path, because when I was young, I was, designated. I got into this very elite group of stand-up comics in New York And if I had it to do over again, like I might have pursued that more and then tried to create be like a Fran Drescher and create my own sitcom.
I could
Or,
totally see
you know,
that.
some people like that. And then, that would have been, because I'm really a good writer and a good comedian. So I think that would have been kind of and it's harder to find people that are good in comedy. So that would have,
True.
I mean, might have been much more lucrative, but in lieu of that, I'm happy, with my life. I mean, I really, I feel, very, I feel very fortunate.
Tell us about some of the clients you have or that you've had, people that we know or people that we should be on the lookout for.
Well, I represent a lot of anime companies like TMS Entertainment and 11 Arts. And, with those companies I've launched, have done Oscar campaigns for animated films and, some great TV shows and things like that. Like I represented a movie called Haji. Ross Marquand from The Walking Dead was the executive producer, and we got on the Sam Rubin show, so that was really a lot of fun. Just like a lot of different writers, like Warren Lewis, who wrote the movie Black Rain, or just the documentary, the Free Willy documentary, and we did a great run with that. And there's just so many, it becomes so vast and so many different things. I have another client, Kevin Soling, who movie The War on Kids. We had a lot of different TV deals, and he was on a lot of national shows, promoting his film. And, like in different, like Valerie's movies, Dirty Bomb. So, a lot of different, things like that. I have a writer, Kate Poirot, who, she is now highly representative, and she's working on OWN and a lot of different networks. So, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of people that come in and come out, over the years.
Is there any career
you
that,
go on my
that
website
you launched?
and then
Oh yeah, I saw this. Do you feel like you're responsible for launching anyone's career?
Well, definitely Kay's career for sure. I mean, and she's, a particular writer. Another director, Joaquin Palma, who's had a lot of work on Hulu shows. I mean, I helped a lot with, his different career. I would say this young woman, kind of worked, a lot of, interest. She's like, building up a new repertoire and stuff. So I would say definitely her. I think a lot of, different film, like, Katie McLean, another client, she, is a soap opera star. And, we just launched her with a new management company, and she's got a lot of different films that are going through the film festival circuit, and her documentary about women directors is going to be on PBS.
Oh, nice.
But, she was a star of, like, All My Children, As the World Turns. She's won a lot of Emmy Awards, both as a director and an actress.
So your website, is this where you tell everyone to go to when they see what you're about and what you're doing? Or are you constantly updating your website?
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. So, and that, as things come in, we just keep doing more. So, a lot of different times, we've taken different films and, we, like in that division, we've placed them. And, a lot of times, like, people are working towards getting, represented and stuff too.
What are you most proud of in your career?
I think a lot of the things that I did at the Simon Wiesenthal Center, like, movie Mighty Fine and Echoes from the Attic, we were in charge of the Holocaust Remembering It. Well, for Mighty Fine, it was a Holocaust-themed film, and, I did the Lionsgate release of the movie, and, we did our opening at the Museum of Tolerance, and it really, led to the movie getting an expanded release because they have so many people that knew about it but couldn't really attend the screening, and that was, really fun. And then years later, that filmmaker came back with a documentary about the true story of her family in the Holocaust. And, it was amazing. On the opening day of Holocaust Remembrance Day there, they were part of the festivities and the ceremonies. And then that night we screened the movie, and the thing was oversold. I mean, I had friends that came that had tickets that had to leave. I had,
Oh,
the guy that's the head of, the Polish embassy. He's their artistic, diplomat. He was there and was introduced at the screening, and we did a great Q&A afterwards and had a great reception. And I think, like I was the most proud because the survivors that were, the family members that had been the Holocaust survivors, there were two sisters on the panel and that were at the screening. And it was really helped them to come to terms because for many years they had a love-hate relationship with the family that had rescued them because of just different things that went on. It really helped them come to terms with, that situation. And so, that was, really, I think that I would say that I was, probably I would say the most proud of that. Also like, as far as like being involved with different festivals with La Femme, bringing in sponsors like Sony and, seeing, people from the festival make those kind of connections. And this year, Stevens College for women that, like they're helping, younger people get writing opportunities. So, I mean, I would say that those would be the things I would be the most proud of. There have been a lot of great movies that I've been, lucky enough to work on. And I think that, like, and also, like, I did an Oscar campaign, for a movie called Liz and the Bluebird, and it was the company's first foray into the award season. And, we were able to get a Satellite Award nomination for Best Animated Feature, which was really good considering the director didn't come over and do any of the campaigns.
wow. So how do you feel right now? I know COVID kind of was a little bit of a setback, but I know you're still busy promoting and doing stuff. Tell us a little bit about right now what's going on.
Right now, like I'm, busy with, different, clients. They have new projects that I've been taking out. I've got a lot of people going on a lot of podcasts and different shows. Obviously Terry J with her book. Kevin Soling is finishing a Beatle documentary, and so we're getting that ready to take out to sell. And there's another documentary that I've been very involved with about the Gibbon Conservatory in Santa Clarita. And Jane Goodall, the animal activist, is, she's now in the feature version of that.
Nice.
So we're getting ready to take that out into the marketplace. But a year ago, for the short version, it was actually July 20th last year. I put together a fundraising event for them, and we did it at the LA Film School, and we actually had we had a sold out audience for that too, and really very successful. So, I'm working on kind of the part 2 of that right now, and and then I have another client that just got invited to join the Academy. She's a documentarian and a short filmmaker, so we're going to do a campaign. There's another movie that I'm involved with, Jasir, that Lorraine Bracco just came on to, be one of the stars of. So, from The Sopranos. So that's going to shoot in Tennessee, like later this year. So, I'm doing, a lot of releases for that and from other, independent type of movies. And, Pulling to Paradise, another film I worked on that, that has, great cast with Jonathan Lipnicki and, a lot of these younger actors. And they just finished, and so they're going to start, going into they have a salesperson, but we're going to do a couple festivals too. So,
You never take a break or a breath.
well, I do, but like this morning I went out running, so that's to me a break.
That's good. Well, you're very inspiring. Your career, your work ethic, I love it, Deborah. We got to keep up with you. So your website, we will all go to. What's your website again?
www.lamediaconsultants, that's plural.net.
Okay.
So.
Thank you so much, Deborah.
And if you just Google Deborah Gillel's LA Media Consultants, the website will come right up. And thank you, sweetie. I really appreciate it.